All right. So we're at the initial mentor-mentee meeting between Tanisha Head and
Kelly Jones.
All right. So I'm mentee, mentor, of course. So Miss Kelly Jones, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 7th year teaching. Yeah, 7 years.
Awesome. What grades or subjects have you taught?
I taught all subjects and grades from grades early childhood, which is pre-K 3, all the way up through 5th grade.
Awesome. Have you always been in DCPS, or did you transfer from another?
Now, I've been in DCPS since 2009 and then became a teacher in 2011.
Okay. Awesome. Good. Because I know right now, what's your role right now at or elementary?
I'm an inclusion special education teacher for grades 4 and 5.
Okay. Awesome. Well, this process, I really want to get better with managing my classroom. I know that I'm good with planning lessons, delivering lessons, and things like that, but it seems like what I'm noticing is it's just classroom management, behavior management is my biggest issue. So that's what I am planning to hone in from you and learn as much as I can learn from that, because I think that's my strongest weakness at this point. I think I pretty much have the planning and all those aspects down pat pretty good. Something that I took from you today, definitely, equity sticks. Love those. That's a good way to keep it fair, and I don't have to keep track of who I called on, who's not participating, and somebody won't have to feel bad, like, why are you calling on me? Like, look, it's your turn. You got your equity sticks. So I really like that. So I am going to incorporate that into my classroom, like ASAP. Also, one thing that I saw you doing was putting our goal up front, like telling them what we were working towards up front, like by saying, okay, this week we want to make sure we keep up with our dojos because we're going to have our slime party on Friday. That's something that I hadn't done, so I'm going to definitely try to incorporate that, because that seemed to like keep them on track because they knew what they were working towards, and that wasn't set in the beginning. So awesome, thank you. I'm taking that with me as well. And also something that I like to see when you led my class was using your phone with the dojo and just always having it, always reminding them that, look, okay, and good job, you assign a dojo and take away dojo, like constantly, so they know that it's an ongoing process, not just at one point of the day or something like that. So I really like those. So those were 3 takeaways that I really enjoyed from watching you in action. So that was awesome. So I would like to see, I know we talked about it before, but I would like for you to just give me, like, shoot out a couple ideas for just behavior management within the classroom, especially for someone who seems to be defiant and not just not understanding what was said and different things like that. Like, I have like about 3 that just seem to be defiant. So what are some of the things that you may suggest?
Just in the same way that you notice that there's a constant reinforcement of the behaviors with whatever system that we're using in the classroom, constantly reminding them on the positive as opposed to the negative. Always reframing it, so we're going to earn these points. Remember, I see you earning these points, and always pointing out what are the positives of everything. Even if it's people around them, you're pointing out the positives. So for instance, if it's somebody beside them doing the right thing, and you praise them, and that usually will encourage the student to get back on task to try to earn the points, especially when they see that there are points being earned. That's one way to do it. Also, the keeping an eye on the entire class as opposed to just the one station that you're working on. So, like, if they're teacher-led, if you're a teacher-led, that's awesome. But also knowing that you still have to monitor what's happening around the other class and the other parts of the classroom, and being actively monitoring that, because sometimes we get real like tunnel vision. It's like, yes, we're in teacher-led, but you also still have to remember, because like, it's not like in kindergarten where you have an aide in there that can monitor class. You're still keeping an eye, and you're still awarding points as they're doing their what they're supposed to do as well. Just reiterating and let them know that I'm still keeping an eye on you, so that they don't feel that just because I'm not in teacher-led that I don't have to see what this person did. Yeah, right. I don't have anything. And also just making sure that the expectations are put up front, like in the same way that we put what they were earning to it. But the expectation is this. We're going to practice this, and we're going to move forward because this is what we're expecting. And it's not something that's hidden. It's not something that I have to try to ask you and you shouldn't know about. It should be something that they should be able to state, I knew I'm supposed to do this, and this is what we're going to do. And just, continue to making sure that you frame everything in a positive. So I'm praising them as opposed to now yelling down their throats saying, you should have done this. I'm going to praise the positive. I'm always going to, you can have it. I'm going to make sure that I keep the positive up front, because usually the students are used to the negative. So when you give them positive, you're reacting in a way that they wouldn't expect.
Okay. Cool. That's giving me a different insight, because I've noticed myself saying, like, you guys don't listen into somebody yells at you, or something like that. So reframing it and just, okay, I got it. Note taking. Okay, so I guess that kind of goes into what I was going to ask about, just holding high expectations for everyone, like even my lower groups. Like, I was kind of thinking, like, I don't want my lower groups, what I'm scared of is, like, I don't know, I'm not going to use this term properly, but dumbing down the material. What's another word? And I said,
no, I know what you mean.
Differentiating at a lower level.
You're differentiating. Okay. Yeah, you scaffolding down.
Yes.
So one of the things that I know is that because I'm an inclusion teacher, I go in and I don't teach content that's not the grade level. Like the expectation is that they do the grade level. They may do it at a different pace. They may also be presented the same material in a different way in order for them to learn, but they're learning grade level material. I'm never going to put them in a position where they're not being exposed to grade level material. They may struggle with skills that they should have had prerequisite, but we're still exposing them to the grade level material and scaffolding down to where they need it. So, for instance, today I'm working with a student who has to be able to read and write decimal numbers, whole numbers and decimal numbers with an expanded notation. Well, the students struggle with putting numbers in the place value chart, so I have them with the place value chart. I also have it labeled already, so they don't have to worry about labeling. I also have what it looks like. So, for instance, if it's a tenth, I have 0.01. So, if it's a tenth or 100th, 0.01 for them to see it. So it's not that they're struggling with that. I'm not testing them on their ability to do that. I'm testing on their ability to write it. So if they have the additional supports there, they're still working on 5th grade material, but I'm making the playing ground a little bit level. Yeah,
so they're what they were supposed to have previous to come in there, you're giving them.
I'm kind of giving some of those things. I'm kind of giving them some. So we can work when it's a teacher led work. I'm giving them some of those things, and then they work in other stations in order to fill in those gaps, like whether it be with iReady, whether it be with fluency, whether it be some gap filling stuff that they can do when they're not in teacher led. But as far as with teacher led, we're going to give them those things they need in order to access.
Stay on grade level. Okay, very important. I got it. Okay, awesome. Well, in our school, we are going to do, I just found out we're doing Class Dojo school-wide. So that's going to be my behavior management system in my classroom. And some of my de-escalation strategies, I've been trying like proximity, separating students, different things like that. Do you have any more that I can probably try for like things before they get out of control in the classroom? Well, also, I know always setting your expectations up front and, different things like that. Keeping the dojo going, always. All of those are really, really good.
Well, within dojo, you're awarding them positive points. They are earning negative points as well. But also, the family engagement part is really important. So if the teachers have students, parents connected to Class Dojo, their parents can see it in real time, which is also something that encourages students to, stay on their best behavior and work their best because the parents can see it as well. Within Dojo, they also have stories where you can, if you're filming a video or something, you can share it with the class, or you can share it with the parent to let them know how the student is doing in there. So those are also ways that can help before it even gets there. So some de-escalation strategies, maybe a breathing maybe everybody stops for a minute and they breathe.
I like that.
Everybody breathes.
Because we do our mindful minute in the morning, every single morning.
Yeah.
Like our just collective, close your eyes, deep breathing in and out, just to get started for the day. So I like that.
Okay. And then you can, to get started, they can breathe. But also, if you notice that the class is kind of antsy or whatever, you can say, even if your teacher like, all right, everybody, we're gonna stop for 30 seconds and we're gonna breathe, and then we'll get back to it. Just to kind of get it right. Also, separating the kid from the environment, or vice versa. If the student is having a rough time, it's causing a lot of issues with everybody else, let's stop. We're gonna take a walk. And that way you don't have everybody in there where it's just like a lot of things happening.
Okay. Awesome.
Corey.
Okay.
You said SNF, and this was supposed to be on there. Go.
Okay. My rules and norms and procedures. I've got rules listed. And I got them posted. It's 10 of them. I was thinking about reducing them to just 5.
Yeah.
I saw that note. So.
Yeah, because 5 is like what they can digest and be able to.
Yeah, I was kind of noticing like, go look at number 8. It was just too much. So I'm going to try to keep them all in there, but kind of just reduce them to 5 and like bunch them up together.
And reframe them in a positive. So it's like, no fighting is not something that you were saying. No fighting. It would be more like we will have positive or engage in positive interactions with our peers, as opposed to saying we're not gonna fight.
Or no talking.
Yeah, no talking. Okay. Yeah.
Got it. So I'm going to work on that. That's another thing I'm going to work on, reducing the booze to 5 and reframing them all in positive and trying to include everything. Also, one thing that I noticed, I want to put one of the anchor charts that I don't have in my room is like how they move around. So I definitely want to put that on there because we're having a hard time. So I definitely want to have that reminder on there so they don't have no issue with that. Even though we practice it, I definitely want to have an anchor chart.
You can even put, even if you don't want anchor charts, you can have, if you have a pocket chart, you can put index cards.
Yeah, I need to get me a pocket.
They have pocket charts at like dollar store.
Because I didn't see one when I went to Office Depot.
No,
Okay,
the dollar store has
good.
mini ones, kind of like the little one that's right there.
Good. Because I was looking for my Office Depot, like, why can't I find these charts? Okay, I'm going to definitely get one of those. Awesome. We talked about high expectations. Okay, my positive classroom climate, what we do here, or we do that morning meeting where we have a greeting that we do, greet the teacher, then greet the students. I at least have the students greet at least 2 other students. And today I really liked your circle one where we're greeting kind of like each other. I actually did that for my second class and it went really well. Sweet. So I really like that. So I'm going to keep that up.
Joshua Bates,
we do handshakes, and I give some of my students hugs. The ones who want hugs, I definitely give them hugs. And what we do, the community building activity, as well as the morning meeting. So those are the things that we try to do to keep the positive classroom climate in the classroom. Okay. All right. So did you want to add anything about kind of that overview? Yeah, that was pretty easy. So my next 3 lessons that we got coming up, next 3 units are comparing whole numbers up into 1 million, which we started today. I think that was like one lesson and that went pretty fast. And then we're finding 1, 10, and 1,000 more or less than a given number. We've only been working with multiplying by 10. I'm going to see how interesting this looks. And then also rounding multi-digit whole numbers. So those are our next 3 units that I'm going to have. For that one,
so you do the same thing.
No, but you can get that milk crate. Get one of those milk crates. Oh, Court.
I gotta find these. I gotta find these standards real quick.
It's a milk crate. Oh, you can sit in that chair, but that's not a milk crate. Sit in the chair. Get the chair. That's the milk crate, but this is the chair right here, the one you just grabbed.
Alright, so I don't have it like written as the standard. I guess students will be able to compare multi-digit whole numbers. Oh no, compare whole numbers based on meanings of digits using greater than, less than, and equal symbols. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. Throughout the week, we're also going to be, the students' objectives are going to be able to find 1, 10, and 100,000 more and less than any given number. So that's going to be our second objective.
Corey.
And our third objective is going to be on rounding multi-digit numbers. I don't have the lesson plans for all three yet, but I can have them Wednesday. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm not trying to hit you with it. I can have them by Wednesday if you want to look over it just to see how everything is going. But I definitely would like for you to see that, but I think that I'm kind of okay with getting the lesson plans done and different things like that. I just got to get a little bit better with behavior management. Okay. And the rubric. So I understand that I'm going to be scored on my understanding of learning as well as meeting the student needs for that particular standard. So hopefully I can do well. I'm not expecting all fours in the beginning. I'm expecting myself to grow. So I'm going to do my best. But
Lawrence Jefferson, please come to the office for dismissal. Lawrence Jefferson.
That I'm not outstanding as of yet. So is there anything extra super fantabulous that you're going to be looking for so that I can get a 4 and like meeting student needs?
Just looking for well, I'm a sped teacher, so I'm looking for differentiation, but also, I'm also looking for how you meet the students' needs.
Davion Allows, please come to the office for dismissal. Davion Allows.
In the teacher led.
Okay. So individually and home.
Keep working until it's time to do. Just work until it's time to do. No, you may not. Is your homework done? Is your homework done? Get your homework done.
All right, awesome. So that's good to know. Good to know. So yeah, because normally when I'm at the station, like I just go by like I never really do like a set, which I probably should start, but I kind of go off of like how well they're performing at whatever level problem they go. Like either I should make it more challenging or step it back just a little bit. So that's how I have been doing it, but I normally have like a base of questions and then go higher or lower depending on how well they're responding to it. And I normally did something like like go ahead and write the answer to this question and then hide your answer or something like that. Right. Should I do that, or should they be working kind of more together, or it's more individual, right?
It's a combination of that. Because there are times where I'll have students who go back and forward with math discourse and saying, yeah, when you finish your homework. Well, they'll be discussing something or debating whether or not something is right, and at that point it's appropriate to have them talking. But if you're talking now, you're just trying to quickly assess within the moment what they know, then that might be the best.
Cover that. Okay, good, because I've been doing that. Okay, good. All right, so understanding learning, so that's me differentiating to the students, right? Both. Yeah, both basically. Okay, awesome. Well, Ms. Jones, it's been a pleasure having our first meeting down packed.